What's going on, y'all? Hope y'all having a really great day. I'm about to be making a whole bunch of videos on this channel, but I wanted to say something because I don't really I talk about day trading, but I don't talk about like how I win. I only talked about that and like how I became profitable in 1 year. But this video we're going to be talking about how I made $36 in 2 minutes trading the SPY. So if you guys don't know, here's basically I'm just going to say my strategy. So basically, what I trade support and resistance with candlesticks and two indicators. The only two indicators, I'm like old fashioned or whatever. I use the MACD and the RSI. And I know a whole bunch of bullish and bearish candlesticks. And I trade support and resistance. So I write down all my levels. Where's my piece of paper? So like tomorrow, I plan on trading tomorrow. If I see my setup, I'll trade. But if I don't see my setup, I won't trade. Man, I'm so thirsty. Got some water up in here? All right, everything good. All right, but it's hot outside, y'all. It's like 100 degrees outside. But I trade support and resistance. I write down my support and resistance levels. So tomorrow, I already got my support and resistance levels written down already. So what I want to say is about that is resistance is basically like the wall and support is like the floor, basically. So I mean, resistance is a roof, but yeah. So I wait the first 15 to 30 minutes to see how the market reacts because basically Wall Street they be setting up a lot of traps, yo. Like I used to get in there at like the first minute and like oh the market's going up and I get in and I'm like oh no that's not how you're supposed to do it. And I've been trading since April last year, but I didn't start options trading until August. But I'm sitting here. I'm like, dang man. Let me just be patient. So the market opens today. It goes all. It's trading however it does. It trades like a double top, and it goes down. And I'm saying, okay, it's starting to hit a certain level. Let's see how it react. Once it hits a certain support level, what I'm going to do is I'm going to see how my candles react. I'm going to see how my indicators react. And I'm going to see, okay, look how it's reacting off of this support. I say, okay, I'm going to get into this, and I'm going to do some calls at this area. So I only trade with 2 contracts. That's good for me. And these are like my mini, like, short days. Like, what I usually do is like 100 to 200 a day. But with how these trades are going lately since I'm back now, it's been like in the $20 to $30 range. I've been catching like the little moves. I could let it run a little bit, but I said I want to take what I get. And yeah, it was a good trade. I'm gonna see, man. My phone is over there. I'm too lazy to go get it. But I was patient with the first 15 to 30 minutes, see how I react. And what it did was in those in between those 30 to 20 some minutes or whatever, it hit its resistance level. It was a lot of resistance at 609 because in the pre-market, it kept like hitting 609 and dipping. So I said, okay, let's see what it does. I'm just gonna let it hit 609. And hit support. The reason why I didn't short it at resistance, which I could have did and got some money as well, I didn't short it because if it's bullish on all my time frames, I'm not going to short it. You know, it really depends if I'm going to short something because the trend, yes, the trend could change and stuff like that, but I don't really like to trade against the trend. And so that's what I did. I got in that support after it dipped. And that's what happened. I saw, and also one thing I peeped, I saw a bullish engulfing candle at that support too. That was like confirmation. I was like, okay, let's get into this. So yeah, that was basically how I made $36 in basically 2 minutes off a good trade. That's usually how my trades go. Versus the same way, vice versa for a bear market. If it's bearish on all my time frames, I'm not going to trade calls. I'm going to wait until I see my setup at resistance and see how the market reacts. I'm going to stay calm and patient. One thing that's very important is risk management. So one thing I want to talk about on that is basically I have a rule. And we're going to get into emotions as well because I got my emotions way better now. I took a 2-month break from trading to get my emotions better when it comes to trading and to focus on my risk management. So the emotions part, I'm doing phenomenal. Just me praying and just me staying calm, taking a deep breath through my nose, and praying is what's helping me, you know. But risk management. A lot of people use a stop loss, but I don't use a stop loss. A lot of people may be like, oh, well, if a stop loss worked for you, use a stop loss, but I don't use a stop loss. I have a certain rule that if a trade hits negative $50, I'm going to sell automatically and place my order and stuff like that. But yeah, because I know that I don't want my losses to be bigger than my wins. So if I lose negative $50, I'm not worried about that because, like I said before earlier, I'm used to winning $100 to $200 a trade. And the thing is too, I'm not even risking like a lot in a account. So like for example, say you got a 100K account, I'm only gonna be using like 1K. I'm gonna be honest with you, I'm only gonna be using like 1K. That's all I need. I don't really need a lot. But right now in this account, I'm using like about 100 to 200 per for what I'm doing, and that's helping me make an extra 100 or extra 200 a day every now and then. But you never know what you're gonna get in the market. But today, I'm just thankful to even make $35. I mean, well, it was $36, but you know how they take extra 20 cents. But I'm just thankful to make $36 in 2 minutes because that's, I don't know, I just think that's good. Just to make that within 2 minutes and you could chill for the rest of your day, that's pretty chill. Same thing for like the days when I make 100. That's something, dude. That is something. So to make 100 in like 5 to 10 minutes and you don't gotta work a shift or 8 hours or 10 hours, I think that is amazing. Trading is amazing. One thing I'm getting better at is I'm not going in there thinking about, oh, I'm going to make some money today or I'm going to make some money today. If I see my setup, I see my setup. If I don't, I don't. And I only trade once a day, whether I lose. So like the other day, this week, because I count last Friday. That counts as into the week, but I count that as well. So I'm up 4-1. I have 4 wins and 1 loss. So I was winning 3 wins in a row. Today is Thursday, so Wednesday I lost $50, and then Thursday I won, which is $36. So I'm up. I'm 4 for 1 this week, and I'm actually happy with how I'm doing. I'm content. I took that loss, like people say, with a grain of salt. I took that loss with a grain of salt, and I said, you know what? I'm not going to trade against the trend. That's what I wrote down in my journal. The setup was good. I tried to short in a bull market. And when I tried to take profit, when I was about to take profit, it went to the negative anyway. I was like, okay, cool. Might as well just sell anyway. But, because it hit over that. But, I shorted it. And, you know, that's how it goes. The market go against you. So I said, I'm not going to trade against the trend. I'm just going to go with the trend. If I don't see my setup in the trend, I'm not going to trade it. But risk management is very important. Risk management is very important. You take your losses and you learn from your losses. And what I do is after every single trade, I journal. Speaking of that, let me show y'all. Let me show y'all what I be doing, right? I want to show y'all. For example, this is what I journal. All my wins and losses. All my wins and losses. For example, let me show you all my wins and losses. Like right here. This was like a couple of months ago. Like these are all my wins right here. I won 3 puts in a row. You probably can't see it. One for $65, $104, and $111. I write down all so I can learn. You know what I mean? So I can learn. Controlling your emotions is very important. One thing that I learned off of those 2 months is cut your losses quickly. If you have a certain rule where you don't, if you have a certain rule, like for example, I've been had that rule. I was listening to all my rules except for that one. It took me to take a 2-month break to realize this in demo trading. I realized when I looked in my journal as well, all my losses are because I went against the trend. Like 90% of my losses was like because I went against the trend. So And because I don't know, it's just crazy for me. I'll be going like on 10 trade winning streaks, 20 trade winning streaks, and then I'll maybe have two or three losses here and there, and then I'll bounce back and stuff like that. But um, yeah, y'all, it's very important to journal and to make adjustments. So I made adjustments. I took 2 months off because the Trump market just made me so mad, bro. It made me so mad. But I learned that it's okay not to trade certain days and to take your risk management very serious. I was like, okay, cool. Um, it hits -$50, we sell automatically. So getting back to my point, what I was saying is, if a trade hits over -50 and it gets to say 60, 70, 80, 90, 100, I'm like, I'm not even listening to my rules at this point. Like that's like an example of like you need to have some discipline. You need to have some emotional intelligence, and that's one thing that I've been getting better at, and I've been doing good so far. So the paper trading helped me do that. So I had a rule in paper trading: if it got the -$10, we sell automatically. But if it doesn't, we're not going to sell. You know what I mean? But if it gets a -$10, we sell, and that helped me build discipline. So I said I'm gonna use that. It was working for me. I said, let me use that in there. So that'll help me save more capital, because like there's certain days where it's like you're not listening to your rules. You're going to lose a lot of money not listening to your rules. So yeah, that's just one thing that's really important. And don't think too much about winning or losing. Don't even think about that. Think about growth day by day. Think about how you're growing. Focus on growth. You know what I mean? Listen to your rules. Do not set no rules and not listen to them. So yeah, that's all. Oh, I caught a cramp. Ooh, that's all I wanted to say though. That's it for this video.